Hi everyone, my name is Natasha Junejo. I'm the founder of South Asian Writers, and we are leading the literary side of South Asian Heritage Month. I'm also one of the organisers of South Asian Heritage Month as well, so it's been wonderful to interact with you all on social media and to see how you're all engaging with all of the different things that have been going on this month, and also to see you get involved in the South Asian Writers Our Stories Matter project, which has been live for a couple of weeks already. It's incredible. It's lovely. It's so lovely to meet you all. It's been great seeing you all in my inbox and having phone meetings and Zoom meetings with you all in preparation for the lit arm of what we have in store for you. So I can't wait to share it with you. I can't wait to share it with you all. So today we are launching southasianwriters.com, which will house the lit content that arises out of the Our Stories Matter campaign during South Asian Heritage Month. So the campaign really consists of a photo submission project and a written essay, long form and poetry submission project as well. And really what Our Stories Matter is about is that it's a memory curation project, and it's not only about talking and sharing the stories that affect us and that speak to our experiences now as South Asian people, as people who are children of the empire, as people who are straddling two cultures, as people that want to talk about belonging and identity and carrying those forward. But it's also about going back and excavating those stories from our elders, from our parents and our grandparents and our aunts and our uncles, and from that generation before us that perhaps, you know, and often had to assimilate into a different culture that was more dominant than their own, and in doing so, and I say this quite a lot, and in doing so, had to make parts of themselves quieter and had to hush parts of who they were in order to just rub along and maneuver through those spaces and create this canopy of safety for us to grow up in. And that quiet grace with which our parents and grandparents maneuvered through these spaces, it's a beautiful thing, and it taught me a great deal about how to handle adversity and how to handle conflict and how to conduct myself through life, through difficult periods in life. But I think a byproduct of that is that parts of who you are and the inclination to shout loudly and proudly about who you are and where you come from and your identity can get lost, and it can get locked away. And because we have luxury now of the time that we live in, because we benefited from the luxury of the safety that our elders provided for us to grow up in when they were receiving, you know, when there was horrific abuse around, and yes, we had it too, but it's not the same if you grew up here as well. I feel duty bound to go back and to excavate those stories, to go back and ask those questions, to go back and gather up those little treasures that make up who we are, that are the tapestry of our history, our family history, our collective history, our collective heritage, and carry those lovingly forward and into the digital sphere, but also for future generations, and to preserve our history, and through the eyes of the people who were there, through the eyes of people who saw partition, through the eyes of the people who remember when the British Empire was, you know, when the British ruled India. We still have relatives that or at least we have first-hand accounts and evidence. We have diaries. I've spoken to so many people that have their grandparents and great-grandparents' diaries and source material that, you know, this isn't something that is reflected in our education system. This isn't something that is reflected in visible, demonstrable displays of history that outwardly sit in public spaces, in the same way that other points in time, contributions to this country are. This is something that is up to us to curate, that is up to us to nurture, that is up to us to protect and preserve. And I feel duty bound to do that. And I'm so grateful to be able to do that as well. And gosh, already so many people have been contributing to this project and sharing all of their family stories, and it's just been the most beautiful, wonderful, galvanizing thing. And there's been one Our Stories Matter post on Twitter that one of our authors, actually, there she is, author of this wonderful book. You need to read this book. It is fabulous. It is fabulous. We're doing a feature on this book as well, The Dancing Maharani. It's wonderful. You need it in your life. Oh, also you need this in your life. Excellent poet. Excellent poet. We'll be doing readings from her book too, and doing a Q&A about her book. She's amazing. Also, you need to read this book. I'm just saying. I'll stop now, but you know, there's a lot of good content from our community. There's just so much going on. Anyway, we had, so Ranjit saw a tweet, an Our Stories Matter tweet. And in that tweet was a picture of a gentleman's grandmother and grandfather. And she recognized his grandmother's face. And it turned out, so Ranjit lives in London, and it turned out that his grandmother was best friends with her mother in Edinburgh. And the best of friends. And to the point where they'd been in each other's weddings, to the point where I think somebody had officiated two of her sister's weddings as well. There was such an intimate connection, and this is really what Our Stories Matter is about. We're so intersectional and diverse as a community, but there's common threads that tie us together, and the beauty of two perfect strangers being so intimately linked and finding each other through social media and this project is just, oh, lovely, a lovely, lovely thing to see. And I believe their families are in touch now. I caught up with Ranjit yesterday. I believe their families are in touch now, and they're on the phone with each other during lockdown, and they'll be visiting, and it's just, oh, it's great. It's a great thing to see. So that is Our Stories Matter. We've also got guest posts from Loughborough University that'll be going up on our website, southasianwriters.com. And Loughborough University are running another memory curation project around the migrant experience, but also around partition. And they're focusing that on a couple of geographical areas within South Asia. They're doing blog posts for us twice a week, so we'll be posting those on the website as well. And they're such a great read, and they've got such a great project going on as well. So there'll be links of how you can get involved. There's links on our social media of how you can get involved as well. So lots and lots to get involved with there. We have author spotlights, we have Q&As, we've got poetry readings, we've got book giveaways. There's just so much happening on the lit side, so much happening on the lit side. The best way to stay up to date with us is go and look at everything on the website, and we'll be posting things through there. But if you want to stay up to date with what is happening day to day and what is happening weekly, the best thing to do is follow our Twitter and follow our Instagram. So both of our handles are the same on both platforms. It's South Asian Writers, STH Asian Writers. That's STH Asian Writers. So South Asian Writers on both. And gosh, yeah, we look forward to hearing from you. If you have a book that's coming out, if you know of some writers that you think that we need to know about and the world needs to know about, get in touch with me. If you want to read your poems, if you want to send me a video of you reading your poems, reading your stories, get in touch with me. If you're a children's book author, get in touch with me. I want more from you. If you are a graphic novelist, I want to talk to you. Get in touch with me. If you are a screenwriter, get in touch with me. If you are a playwright, get in touch with me. If you do any kind of writing, if you write with a quill and wear pantaloons, get in touch with me. You are all glorious. You are all fantastic. You are all exceptional. And I love reading your work. Some of my favorite books and writers have come out of just people I've spoken to over the last couple of weeks. And I'm so humbled. I remain humbled to be in this position, to be in a position where people also that are emailing us about their personal essay submissions, I get to sit there and ask them what they want to say and how they want to say it. And it is such a unique position to be in, and it is such a source of joy for me. I cannot even tell you. And I love this. I love it. I think you're incredible. I can't wait to center you. I can't wait to put the focus on what you have to say, because that is what this is about. That is all this is about. What you have to say is important. What you have to say matters. Your words have value. You have value. Your stories are important. Your stories matter. Never stop talking. Never stop sharing. Never stop writing. No, I loathe to think how many stories we've lost so far. It's genuinely upsetting, whether it's because they had so many hard no's and they were told that nobody wants to hear our stories and nobody wants to listen to, brown-centric work, or it's because we've lost them because our older generation stopped sharing, and it really needs to be a deliberate, active process for us to go back and preserve and bring forward. And I'm just done. I'm done losing our stories. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. And I'd love you to join me. So check out our website. Missed my finger there. Check out our website and follow us on our social media channels. Keep up to date with us. Get in touch with me. Email me, southasianwriters@protonmail.com. Email me. Get in touch with me, follow us, get involved. We'd love to have you. I will find a way to work you in. The schedule is crazy, but I will find a way to work you in because you're important. And this extends beyond this month as well. This is something that is here for you beyond this month. This is a platform for you. This is in service of you. It is why I am doing it. I am happy to do it. This is for you. Oh, I also wanted to touch very briefly. I realize I've waffled on for a long time, but it's what I do. I wanted to just say as well that this was due to launch on Monday just gone. And the reason that I chose to delay it was because during that time, it was the start of the 48-hour Twitter and Instagram blackout, which was a response to the anti-Semitic incident that took place on both platforms that was not appropriately dealt with, and it really fed into a picture of these sorts of incidents and it not being appropriately handled and dealt with. It seemed wholly inappropriate to me to launch a platform on the same day at the same time as our neighboring community, marginalized community of Jewish people, were asking for their voices to be heard. And I'm launching a platform saying, our stories matter, our voices need to be heard, listen to us, what we have to say is important. And this is a very specific window of time where another marginalized community is demonstrably silent, in order to illustrate the fact that there is inequality in the way that they are being treated, and that there is hate speech and active hate in our online spaces, which should be safe. They should be safe spaces for us to maneuver through and tell our stories without fear of violence and without fear of violence being incited against us in whatever form that takes. It's inappropriate. And so it was important to me to be a visible ally in that moment. And I think allyship is incredibly important for us as a POC community anyway. I think that we, as much as we need to stand with our Black brothers and sisters during their struggle, we need to stand with everyone who is marginalized, because this fight is universal. It doesn't just function when our situation is better. When all you are fighting for is what is in service of you and what directly affects you, that isn't fighting for equality. That's just lobbying for your own comfort. And that's not the principle upon which this was founded for me. The South Asian Writers, South Asian Writers as a unit, as a platform. That's just not the principles upon which it was founded. It felt inappropriate to me to step on another community's toes in order to pull the focus back onto our community. And I'm so grateful that all of the authors that I'm involved with this month, that we are bringing to you like a delicious smorgasbord of chocolate joy. It's going to be great. I'm so grateful that all of them completely and utterly agreed and saw it from this point of view, because if we're not in support of something like this, and if we're not in support of BLM, and if we're not in support of these incredibly important, valid causes and fights for equity and fairness and, good Lord, life and humanity, I don't really feel we have a right to be asking people to make room for what we have to say when we are silencing another group with our actions. It just didn't sit right with me. So I just thought I would come on and explain that also, because I know that a couple of people have been going, crickets, where is this lady? What I've been doing for the last couple of days is having conversations with my friends who are members of that community and trying to understand the severity of the situation and trying to understand how they feel about it and what that means for them, and what that means for how they view their place in the world, which is an incredibly important thing, because that's what, since this has started, that's what my non-South Asian friends and my non-POC friends actually have been asking about me, about my experiences as a writer in these spaces, about my experiences as an Asian woman in these spaces that don't normalize brownness. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing, understanding and empathy. It's something that we should be pushing for, and that we should be actively educating and socializing ourselves to engage in. That we had a wonderful Twitter hour on South Asian Heritage Month last week that was all about food. And my personal Twitter handle is aubergine pakora, and I wrote this whole chain of tweets about aubergine pakoras and how much I loved them, and how my mum told me that in Pakistan, when she was back home, when she was little, whenever it rained, they used to make fried foods, and they used to make pakoras and have them with a hot cup of tea and like a hot cup of chai, and then eat the pakoras whenever it was raining. And it was just the most beautiful imagery growing up. And so our tradition is, whenever it is chucking it down with rain, or whenever there are buckets of rain, we will make pakoras together. And I had a message from my friend Heather, who read that and was inspired by that during our South Asian Heritage Month Twitter hour, and the other day made pakoras with her children and made chai with her children to enjoy together. And I just think that is a wonderful, wonderful thing, a wonderful, wonderful thing to share. and to feel that what we are doing is not only affects our community, but that there are ripples that are being sent out beyond us that connect people to this loving sense of pride that we're all feeling right now, and that it's inspiring people to eat pakoras in Bognor Regis. This makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I've been waffling on for a very, very long time. Happy South Asian Heritage Month. Welcome to South Asian Writers. Keep contributing to Our Stories Matter. I want to hear all of your stories. Message me about essays. We've got loads coming. We've got loads in the editorial queue, but I'm keep it coming. Keep it coming. I want to hear from you. You are important. What you have to say is valid. Your words are valuable. You are incredible. You are glorious. Never stop talking. Never stop sharing. Never, ever, ever stop writing. Our stories matter. I'm going to go now, I promise. Okay, bye-bye.